If someone had told me a year ago that I would be scared of my own bedroom, I would have laughed. But now, I can't step inside that room without feeling watched. Because every night, every single night, my wife talked to someone who wasn't supposed to exist. And the worst part? She swore it wasn't her voice. I'll start from the beginning, back when things were still normal, back when I still believed normal was real. My wife, Elena, and I had been married for 6 years. We were quiet people, the kind of couple who preferred slow evenings, warm lamps, and the soft hum of our little townhouse. Nothing strange. Nothing supernatural. Nothing that would ever make me question reality itself. But one night, one simple, insignificant Monday night, everything shifted. It was somewhere around 2 a.m. when I woke up. Not because of a nightmare. Not because of a noise. I woke up because of a feeling, cold, like someone brushing an icy fingertip down the center of my spine. Elena wasn't next to me. Her shape was missing from the sheets. Her warmth gone. At first, I brushed it off. Maybe she went to the bathroom, maybe she was grabbing water. Completely ordinary explanations. I kept my eyes shut and tried to sink back into sleep. Then I heard it. A voice. A whisper. But here's what made my stomach twist: it sounded exactly like my wife's voice, if it were dragged through static. Familiar, but distorted. Human, but not quite. It was coming from the hallway. I sat up slowly, listening harder. The voice grew clearer, not louder, but closer. Nearer. Like it was leaning around the corner of the doorway. And then, another voice responded. This one was deeper, soft, breathy. A man's whisper, low and deliberate. My heart felt like it was beating behind my teeth. I swung my feet off the bed and stood, trying to stay quiet. The carpet felt colder than usual. Elena? I called out gently. The whispering stopped. Just stopped. As if someone had pressed pause on them. Then I heard quick footsteps. Light ones, and my wife stepped into the doorway. "Why are you awake?" she asked. Her voice sounded normal. Too normal. "I heard you talking to someone." Her face went pale, not surprised pale, caught pale. But she forced a smile, the kind I'd seen her use only once before, when she lied to her mother about losing her wedding ring. "I was on my phone," she said. "Who were you talking to?" She hesitated. "Just myself, I guess. I do that sometimes." No. She absolutely did not. The way she walked back to bed felt wrong. She kept her eyes down, her shoulders stiff, like she was walking through an invisible fog. I didn't sleep the rest of the night. I told myself the first night was nothing. Stress. A half-dream. A trick of sleep-deprived senses. But deep inside, a tight knot wrapped itself around my ribs and stayed there. Night 2 proved the knot was right. It was around the same hour, 2 a.m., the time I now hate with every cell of my body, when I woke again. This time, I didn't hear whispers first. I heard breathing. Not my wife's. Not mine. Something slow, thin, almost curious. I opened my eyes just enough to sliver the room. Elena wasn't beside me, again. The space where she should have been looked cold, untouched. But the breathing? It seemed to hover near the foot of the bed. Too low to the ground. Too steady. Too close. I didn't move. I didn't even blink. After a long moment, the breathing drifted away, like someone slowly sliding back into the hall. Then the whispering began. This time, the voices were clearer, my wife's voice, and that deeper one from the night before. I crept toward the door, careful not to step on the creaky board near the dresser. I peered around the corner. My wife was sitting cross-legged on the hallway floor. Facing the wall. talking to it. Her hair covered her face, hiding everything except her mouth, which moved in slow, deliberate motions, like she had to think about every syllable. Just beyond her, in the dim hallway light, the shadow cast on the wall didn't look like hers. It was too tall, too narrow, too still. And it wasn't aligned with her body at all. I whispered, "Elena, what are you doing?" Her head jerked, but not toward me. She turned toward the shadow, as if she was asking it what she should say. Then she looked at me. Her eyes were glassy, dark, pupils too wide. "I'm answering questions," she said softly. "What questions?" She smiled in a way that didn't reach her cheeks. "It wants to know things." My throat closed. Who? Who wants to know? She slowly pointed at the wall. Not the shadow. Not the corner. The wall itself. "The one who watches," she whispered. My heartbeat thudded hard enough that I felt it in my gums. "Elena, come back to bed," I said. She tilted her head. "I can't yet. It's not done talking to me." I tried stepping toward her, but she snapped her head up like a startled animal and said, "Don't come closer." Not yelled. Not whispered. Just a perfect monotone, like someone was speaking through her. I froze. She turned slowly back to the wall. Then the deeper voice answered. Not through her. Not around her. From the wall itself. A thick, scraping whisper that sounded like words being pulled out of dry, cracking earth. "Ask him." My blood turned to ice. Elena repeated it. "It wants you to come here." I took a step back. "Now." Her voice doubled. For a split second, I heard two voices coming out of her mouth, hers and a deeper echo beneath it. That broke me. I grabbed her by the shoulders. She didn't resist, but she didn't move either. It was like trying to pull a mannequin. "Come on," I choked out. "You're coming back to bed." Her eyes rolled upward just enough to show the whites. Then she whispered, too quietly for anything human, "It's coming into the room next." I dragged her. I didn't care anymore. I didn't care if I hurt her. I didn't care if I angered whatever she was talking to. I just needed her away from that wall. The instant we crossed the bedroom threshold, the whispering stopped. The house went dead silent. But before I shut the door, I heard it. A single, slow, deliberate tap on the hallway wall. Like a knuckle knocking from inside the plaster. Tap. Pause. Tap. Pause. Tap. 3 times. Then a long, scraping sound, like something dragging itself back into the dark. When we got into bed, Elena stared at the ceiling. Her breathing was slow. Calm. Almost vacant. She whispered, "It knows your name." I didn't sleep at all. I didn't want there to be a night 4. I wanted to pack our bags, break the lease, run away barefoot if I had to. But Elena wouldn't leave. She didn't argue. She didn't cry. She just looked confused whenever I suggested it, like leaving had never been an option her mind could understand. "It needs me here," she kept saying. I stopped sleeping. Stopped eating. I sat in our bedroom armchair every night, waiting for whatever lived in the walls to show itself again. And on night 4, it did. It started differently this time. No whispers. No breathing. No tapping. Just silence. And then, at exactly 2 a.m., Elena sat up in bed like a puppet yanked by invisible strings. Her spine perfectly straight. Her head slightly tilted. I whispered her name, but she didn't react. She slowly turned toward the bedroom wall on her side of the bed. A faint sound seeped through the plaster, something like shifting dirt. Something digging. Something pushing forward. My skin crawled. Elena, I said. Don't listen to it. She smiled. A wide, dreamy, childlike smile. It says it's ready. Ready for what? To come through. The digging sound grew louder, rubbing, scraping, tearing. Plaster dust sprinkled onto the floor. The wall began to bulge outward, just slightly, like something pressing a hand against the inside. I grabbed her arm. We're leaving. Right now. She shook her head. Slowly. Sadly. I told you, it wants to talk to you. The wall split. A hairline crack first. Then a jagged opening. The air that spilled. Not the whispers. Not the conversations. Not the creature. Not the wall. Doctors called it stress-induced fugue. I called it survival. We moved out within 2 days. But sometimes, late at night, she'll pause mid-sentence, cock her head slightly, and stare at the nearest wall with a soft smile. Did you hear that? She'll ask. I always tell her no. But the truth is sometimes I do. Because sometimes, just beneath the surface, the wall taps back.